There's all these people who've gone out of their way to literally ignore me. And then want to pretend like I never made any effort. They want to pretend that our friendship was one-sided. You're absolutely right, it was. When I reached out for help, where were you? Nowhere to be found. When my name was slandered, and you speaking up was the difference between me getting treated like a schizophrenic nut job and abused to this destitution. And then, of course, none of these fucking people care. None of them actually give a fuck to take a look themselves. Every goddamn one of them wants to pawn me off on somebody else or pass judgment on me and get fucking snarky because I'm not what they fucking expect. You want to pass judgment on me as if I'm all homeless people. And then there's folks like Kaitlynne Tatum, who I know in person. You know, I got treated like every one of my, well, I can't call them friends, can I? They didn't give a shit. They just fucking ignored me for 6 goddamn years. What the fuck kind of a piece of shit does that and then wants to call you friend? Don't fuck with me and don't waste my time. I'm in the situation that I'm in because none of you actually fucking cared. None of you fucking cared. Michelle Stewart did not fucking care. She got a hold of me to pretend like she cared and type pretty fucking words at me because she's a piece of shit. That's what pieces of shit do. When I asked her to go away, that's when she wanted to pretend. But then again, just like everyone else in my life, she wants to talk over me, tell me what to think, what to feel, what to do, and interrupt me repeatedly. You don't know anything if you keep interrupting me. If you keep interrupting me to tell me about yourself, why the fuck did you contact me to begin with? Why did you contact me to begin with? Big difference between Michelle Stewart and Kaitlynne Tatum. Kaitlynne Tatum was a friend in real life who didn't give a fuck. Didn't bother to make any goddamn effort, not a single effort, to find out what was going on through any of this. Michelle found out about me because of entertainment. That's right, folks, most of my viewers are women. Most of them make repeated fake accounts and get on here and harass me and threaten me and do all sorts of other bullshit. But I have 0 friends or family who are going to help turn it in. Is Michelle Stewart going to help turn in the profiles that are harassing her? No. Just like everybody else, they think ignoring those fucking crimes is the way to do it. No, you're helping him get away, bitch! When those crimes are committed, you need to help me to turn them in immediately. Not tell me what to think and what to feel. Not tell me about all of your personal bullshit. If you make the time to call, you need to actually fucking call. If you tell me that you'll at least message me if you don't have time to call, you need to fucking message me instead of leaving me fucking hanging and in the dark. While more of my fucking resources are taken away. Take the time to listen to the roadblocks that I have to endure. Actually listen. Stop making suggestions until you know what the fuck is going on. Stop interrupting me. It takes 6 years of you going out of your way to type the meanest shit that you fucking possibly can. And you don't even try to understand how fucking cruel it is. You claim to be my friend. For 6 goddamn years, Kaitlynne Tatum showed she's not my fucking friend. She never fucking was. I was there to protect them for years. But here in the United States, women are not held accountable for anything. We are taught that bias is more important than the law, and it is, because even the law doesn't follow the law. When you get a hold of somebody who has been victimized repeatedly and they are still fucking going through it, why the fuck aren't you helping them? Why the fuck would you harass them to begin with? And that is what it is. If you weren't willing to speak up and be honest, you never should have gotten involved. If you were going to just procrastinate and waste my time, what the fuck is wrong with you? Well, I get treated like I'm schizophrenic and delusional when I try to turn in crimes against me. But then they won't observe my rights as a disabled person, will they? When I explain that I am an at-risk adult out here on the streets because of victimization, it's, oh, you look cognitive to me. Why? Because I have to talk to them alone every fucking time. Not one person, literally, not one person has helped me to turn in the crimes against me. And the longer it takes them to speak up, the more abuse I have to take, because they are pieces of shit. Don't tell somebody that you'll make the time if you won't make the time. I had 1 year to get the body camera evidence to show the abuse that I had to endure. I have to hurry up and wait until you can make the time. Well, there's plenty of stuff that you can make fucking time for. If you can make time for that shit, you can make the time to listen. If you can take time to make suggestions based on your ignorance, you can shut your mouth, listen, and become less fucking ignorant. I have zero fucking rights because I have zero fucking money, because I am a male, because I am homeless, because I am disabled, because I don't own property. Because slander was used to destroy my life, and every chance and opportunity that I ever had went right out the fucking window. I understand that you don't have time, but the reality is you do. You do have the time. If you're going to tell me you can't do the right thing because you don't have enough money, you need to fucking speak up. Because the right thing to do is fucking speak up. All the money that I spent traveling to find somebody to help me because I can't! I'm not allowed! Do you not get that? And we got assholes like Brandon Ratner. He wants to use his brother as an excuse for him to never try. Oh, well, my brother's schizophrenic. I know your brother's schizophrenic. Am I schizophrenic? No. Well, then why the fuck are you letting them treat me like I'm fucking schizophrenic? Why aren't you coming forward? Why am I forced into situation after situation where I have to be subject to the judgment of the general public because of things that I did not choose? I did not choose for only my predators to give a shit. I didn't choose for Kaitlynne Tatum to be a selfish piece of shit. And the thing with Michelle Stewart is that what she did was selfish too. If it's just entertainment, you leave the victim the fuck alone. You leave them alone. You don't get a hold of them and tell them you're fucking sorry, you're sorry, you're sorry. No, go away! Don't send me a friend request and promise that you'll try to help however you can. When you can speak up, you can make 5 minutes a fucking day to speak up. If you can take 3 hours to fucking argue with me over the phone over your goddamn ignorance, you can spend 3 hours to look at fucking evidence. You can spend 3 hours fucking listening. You can spend 3 hours speaking up. You can spend 3 hours trying to turn in the fucking harassment. But no, you're gonna look the other fucking way. Because it's not happening to you. And that magically makes it okay. You fucking pieces of shit. I had to do things out of desperation because not one of my fucking friends actually gave a shit. Where was their fucking effort and why didn't they speak up if they did make those efforts? Then they want to pretend that when I told on the fucked up things that they did to me, that I had ignored everything else. No, I spoke up about the things that they claimed that they did, but they have no proof. They never tried to provide proof. They never bothered to try in a way that works. With the victim, not for them based on ignorance. Record it. Do not make it the mentally ill victim's word versus anyone else. In order to prevent that from happening, you have to do something about it. Instead of being a piece of shit like Aaron Stegeman. Instead of being a piece of shit like Chris Stegeman. Instead of being a piece of shit like Kaitlynne Tatum or Brandon Ratner. Not one of my fucking friends gave a holy goddamn. Instead of making fucking excuses not to fucking try. That's all I got for years. Excuses not to try. You want to tell me about your fucking pity party, you fucking goddamn bullshit? You don't want any fucking help with it. You just want to make me feel bad for going to you for fucking help. You want to make me feel like a fucking piece of shit because I can't take care of myself. Because you don't want to tell the fucking truth. So you go for any bias that you can fucking pull on to try to get fucking sympathy. Like you must be the victim because you got tits. You must be the victim because you're not disabled to the point that you can't fucking work. You must be the victim because you're not the one with these false fucking accusations. You're not the one being forced to do this shit because people like Kaitlynne Tatum don't give a fuck. How long between when Michelle Stewart first started harassing me and fucking lying to me How long between then and when she actually pretended that she would do something? That's the thing. Homeless people aren't considered human beings to you fucking animals. That's what makes all of you fucking pieces of shit. Everywhere I go, I deal with people with shitty fucking attitudes, treating me like shit. It would be sure nice to sit down with an actual friend in real life and have an actual fucking conversation, but I can't do that because I can't see them. Because the first thing that predators try to do to you is isolate you from your friends and family. Any help that you could possibly have, they go and gaslight you to your own friends and family. Nobody gives a fuck. It don't matter if it's Starbucks or Denny's or Fred Meyer's, wherever the fuck I go, there is somebody who is a fucking piece of shit to fucking homeless people who get fucking shitty to me over shit that is wrong in their fucking lives. I never did a goddamn thing to these people. I never fucking harm these people. For them to treat me like shit because I'm fucking victimized into homelessness is fucking bullshit. I never get the opportunities that other people get. Money don't mean shit without a fucking advocate, and nobody gives a fuck. I talked to Mike last night. I explained to him that I need an actual fucking human being, a friend or family member. Pawning me off to one of these agencies again, making me go by myself isn't going to work. So he tells me that he's got a friend at CARE that he's going to call. I believe that he will. But I don't believe he'll get actively involved. I don't believe that he'll take a look at the evidence, and if they tell him things that are incorrect, he is likely to automatically take their side. Not necessarily, though. When Brandon Ratner could have listened, had the time to listen, made the time to listen, he didn't actually make the time to listen. He told me about everything going on in his life. Everybody cuts me off to do that. If I let them continue, they'll talk literally for hours. If I do cut them off, they treat me like I'm a piece of shit. Like, hey, how the fuck are you going to help me when you won't stop talking about you? You make time for what you care about. If you cared about me, you would be talking about the things that you experienced. This shit is not okay. It is not okay to force a disabled and homeless man into this fucking bullshit. You know, I finally, even though everybody told me, oh, you get the free this and free that, you know, you're so lucky, you get all this stuff that I can't get. No, I didn't get any of that shit. I didn't have any fucking housing. I had to earn every goddamn thing the hard way. Minimum goddamn wage or less. For years. Getting ripped off because I have to trust somebody because I didn't have fucking credit. When I first started off, I had some bills. They were in my name. That was the terms for me getting to stay over with Phil McPhee at Big Jason Jeffson's house. I paid my rent every month and I paid the bills, even though they weren't paying me. This has gone on my entire life. People have been allowed to victimize me, and I'm told that it's my fault, that I chose it. That all it is just a button click away and I get all this magic bullshit. No, it doesn't work that way. I have to get a fucking actual physical address in order to get my license in this state so that I can get the tags and the fucking plates and all that fucking bullshit here. I can't afford it. All of my disability money and all of my back payments was fucking ripped off and fucking stolen by fucking people who didn't give a shit. These people took advantage of me. And the people I'm supposed to go to about it, they expect me to do things that I'm not capable of because of the abuse. There's supposed to be someone to help me, but those places aren't going to help without a friend or family member present. When you go to care, you have to fill out paperwork every time you go in as if you're a new fucking client. So they set up an hour for you to go in for an appointment, and you go in and the first half of it's filling out paperwork, then you're stuck with half an hour. And they don't fucking help. With Mike making that suggestion, I mean, he's at work. He can't just stop what he's doing to listen to everything that's going on. I have nowhere to go. I have no way to get there. I can't fucking afford this shit, and that's the problem. The longer you procrastinate, the longer these massive fucking expenses that no homeless person could fucking afford, not even with disability. You tell me, hey Sean, why don't you do something fun for yourself? I don't get to. Everything that I do is just to try to prevent myself from fucking blowing my own goddamn head off. I want my life to end because nobody fucking cares about me. Kaitlynne Tatum showed that for 6 years. 6 years of fucking ignoring me. 6 years of breaking the law. 6 years of looking the other way. 6 years of making fucking excuses. And then the moment she pretends like she's gonna help instead of helping as a friend or family member would, she starts acting like a mandated reporter who did something wrong and wants to abuse the system to get away with her crimes. Kaitlynne Tatum knows that she committed felonies. What's she gonna do now? Go slander my name and try to convince nobody to look. All the stuff that she said to me that she should have told the public, is she gonna speak those words? Is she gonna say those things to you? No, she's gonna hide like a fucking rat. Just like my older brother did. Just like Natalie Bollinger did. Just like Natalie Bollinger and Maddie Boa. They spread the fucking slander and their friends and fucking family do the dirty work. And none of you fucking care. Brandon Ratner didn't care. Teresa Orrin didn't care. Brenda Dickinson didn't care. Dennis Dickinson didn't care. Josh Martindale didn't care. Justine Marks didn't care. Nobody cared. They wanted to tell me how to think and feel. Fuck you, Pamela Martindale. You're a piece of shit. You showed that. You proved that. I hope you roast in hell, Pamela Martindale. I was good to all of you. Every fucking one of you. And every one of you chose to help my predators. to talk down to me like I'm a fucking retard, to talk at me like I'm a fucking animal, to get angry with me for telling the truth, while telling me I can't be angry or I'm a bad person. You want to be pissed off that I showed the truth in its entirety with you, including your fucking excuses. I don't have a friend or family member in the world. Not one. Michelle Stewart was one of hundreds upon hundreds of people who wanted to harass me and make me feel like shit, not trying to understand how shitty it makes me fucking feel when they do those things. And then, of course, Michelle promising that she's not going to do those things. Did only those things for 2 weeks. 2 whole weeks. Of course, Kaitlynne Tatum pretended I didn't exist for years, didn't she? All of my friends pretend I don't exist. I have to beg them to care. If you have to beg them to care, they don't. That's why I am an at-risk adult. Nobody cares if you fucking hurt me. Brandon Ratner doesn't give a fuck. Veronica Randall doesn't give a fuck. Veronica Bruce doesn't give a fuck. Mandy Singer doesn't give a fuck. Mandy Hughes doesn't give a fuck. Nobody cares. Y'all tell me to do all this stuff with all this money that I don't fucking have and never received. And then there's the money that I get from disability, and it is constantly spent going to resources that don't fucking help the fucking victim, you pieces of shit. I was victimized to the point that I don't have the resources to do these things. And that victimization only happened because people like Kaitlynne Tatum didn't care. Did not fucking care. Did not care. Did not care. I needed a friend or family member to actually care. Instead of telling me to let those crimes go over and over and over again, I needed them to help me to turn them in. Instead of forcing me into a fucking panic attack and then treating me like shit when I am in a desperate situation. Because the things that I was forced to do without your help, without you being an actual friend or an actual family member, I gave you every fucking thing that I had. And still you didn't give a shit. Oh, free money. Free money. Free money. That's what it is to you. It's free money. I gave my sister everything I had. I gave Mandy Singer everything I had. I gave Brandon Ratner everything I had. I gave all of these people everything that I fucking had. The least they could do is admit that I gave them everything I had. I asked all of these people, and they wouldn't even try listening to understand. I begged them to help me to get assisted suicide legal. Those are the two things that will stop this victimization. You coming forward, or you helping me kill myself. And you won't do either. You don't care who hurts me or how much. You have no idea what it's like to be separated from all of your friends and all of your family and treated like you're fucking shit under their boot when you need fucking help. When you have to explain to them very simple fucking concepts over and over again and they talk down to you like you're fucking retarded. All because they don't want to tell the truth. There is no way, even if I spent literally every fucking penny of my disability money that's coming up, my vehicle would still not be legal. And I would still not be able to take care of myself for another fucking month. It's not enough to fucking live on, especially with the added expenses of being homeless, you fucking twats. Instead of having everything in one centralized location, your house, which all of you fucking people have, you have that. You can do the things that I can't. That's the help that I fucking need. I need help getting those things. It is a fucking emergency. This slander and this abuse gets to stand. Because I have zero goddamn rights. Because not a goddamn one of you ever tried to do the right fucking thing. You expect me to drop every goddamn thing at a moment's goddamn notice for a bunch of pieces of shit who won't do the right goddamn thing for me in the entirety of my fucking life. When I'm being abused, it's I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did you think about moving away and isolating yourself from all of your friends and loved ones? Did you think about doing that, Sean? Matter of fact, that's what I've been forced to do repeatedly. None of you are good people. Not a single one of you. You're all selfish. I can't take care of myself, you pieces of shit. I can't take care of myself. And instead of you speaking out about how fucked up this is, to abuse somebody who can't take care of himself, to deny him the right to go in with someone else to turn in his predators. When I tell you about the crimes that they committed against me, and then instead of helping me to turn in those crimes, you tell me they can't do that. Really? Really? They can't? You're going to tell me that Adams County deputy who raped a mentally ill woman on the hood of his patrol vehicle while on duty, you're going to tell me he can't rape anybody? He did rape somebody, stupid. Yes, it's against the law. But none of these people had to worry about that, did they? Because they were able to make it their word versus mine, because people like Kaitlynne Tatum didn't care. People like Michelle Stewart didn't care. They cared only in concept. Oh, I want to be your friend to tell you pretty bullshit once in a great while. Maybe. No, fuck you, go away. Speak up. There are people I feel bad for through all of this. People like Michelle Stewart. However, feeling bad for her doesn't make the things that she did okay. Don't get me wrong, she did some good things for me too. But the fucked up shit she did over her fucking assumptions. Why don't you try listening to the fucking victim? Listening. When I say make the calls with me. Record it. Give me some fucking proof. Proof. Evidence. That's what it takes to get these people into court. The evidence. And you're expecting me to just take your word for it. Kind of like you wanted me to just take your word for it that you were going to look at the evidence I already sent you and you didn't. I don't hate Michelle Stewart. She did the fucked up shit that she did because she didn't understand. She didn't understand because she didn't take the time to understand. Now, of course, with me trying to explain, like, one of our conversations is almost 3 hours long. 3 hours. I really needed her to take that time to listen to understand, and instead of trying to push me to call a fucking crisis line again. No. You are the crisis line. Unless there is a friend or family member who cares, the crisis line doesn't. Unless there is a friend or family member who cares. Here's the thing, is that if somebody cares, that denotes, well, that they might help you turn it in if the staff do something fucked up. The hospitals do something fucked up, if the police do something fucked up. When you're homeless, you get treated like you're a junkie going into the hospital anyway. Imagine how much worse it is. The person that you gotta turn in is a cop. And the reason that you're taken to the hospital is because that cop in specific wants to tell the hospital staff that you're schizophrenic and delusional. The cops wouldn't investigate any of the crimes against me after finding out that I was trying to turn them in. They repeatedly, knowingly, and willingly assisted my predators in getting away multiple times. And there's all these idiots trying to pretend like they're fighting for social justice. No, the fuck you're not. Fuck, I'm tired. I've been emotionally and physically exhausted since October 2015. I tapped out. I tapped out a long time ago, but people wouldn't let me tap out. Do what?
Yeah, $50, just charge $26.
The phone?
Yeah.
They got the cricket thing up there. Were you able to get something to eat the other night?
What about that? You want to sell it for $5?
So what?
$5. That right there. Does it work?
Yeah.
How much?
Take it.
Huh?
Take it.
You can charge it.
Yeah. Electronic cigarette. It works well when it's charged.
Good dude.
Yeah.
That sucks. These things are worse.
Yeah. Asked for a couple of bucks. I would have given it to him, but he's already across the street. The thing all these people aren't understanding is that first of all, you gotta call the right places. You guys keep sending me to places that's not what they do. It's not what they do. You making the same suggestion out of ignorance that 400 other people fucking made. I've made those calls. I've made them by myself. What they do is tell me to call someone else. So I saved the numbers to those other people, and I call those other people, and I have to call them alone. Over and over and over and over again. Well, they triage me out because it's just fucking me. Look how long it took just to get Michelle Stewart to try speaking up. How long did that take? And she's one of the people who actually put an effort towards it eventually. But I'm not sending this shit to people for my fucking entertainment. And I'm not sending this shit to those people for their entertainment. I'm sending it to them so they can help me to turn it in. I'm glad for what help I do get. I'm not hateful to the people who helped me in the ways that they did. The fact that they never spoke up meant that I was treated and continue to be treated like I made those stories up. I could have gotten a new court date based on evidence, based on actual evidence, but one of my friends, just one, would have had to actually care to find out what's going on, and none of them wanted to make the time. None of them cared. None of them cared because of bias, because of sexism, because of racism, because of sexual orientation. Lots of y'all are all out. Yeah, if it's a homosexual that happened to, it must be a hate crime. No, not necessarily, but you don't want to hear that. It's not popular. We're supposed to pretend that No homosexual who has ever existed has ever been a sexual predator. Excuse me. Wake up call. I know that if I go to a woman with my problem, she's going to blow me off and not make any effort whatsoever in the ways that she already knows works. Every woman that you know in the United States of America has either taken part or has been there and present for women's meetings, women's council, as some married men call it. You know, my wife makes my life hell. I gotta stand there and take abuse, and if I don't take the abuse, she'll go to her friends and make my life a living hell. And they'll make my life a living hell. You know, Sean, it's just not worth it to be an honest man these days. Well, thank you for that advice. One guy sat down with his lawyer today inside a Starbucks. And they were talking about people that I know. Not only is it not really an appropriate place to talk about those things, but they get away with it. Apparently it's okay at this Starbucks. They were very loud about what they were saying. Talking about a messy divorce. The lady's kids slashing his fucking tires. He said that she was throwing block at him. If you know what block is, it's heavy. It's cinder blocks. That shit hits you to kill you. If a woman's throwing those things at you, she should be charged with what? Attempted murder. That is the charge. It's not assault with a deadly weapon because she missed. It's attempted murder because of what she threw. Just like Harley could have been charged with attempted murder when she was throwing shit at Dallas. If it would have bounced off and hit me and killed me, she would have gotten involuntary manslaughter. She just couldn't control her temper. She thought that when she was drunk and belligerent and angry, that it was all right to get violent. And us men just have to take it. We always just have to take it. That is every woman's excuse to us, is that we just have to take it. And sure, they may say it in a different way, but this is the United States, where we have taught women that the law doesn't matter, only bias does. And then we teach them all how to play on that bias. Every single one of these women who said they don't know how to speak up, they don't know how to help, every single one of them has taken part in doing those things for a woman. Every one of them. A woman doesn't have to tell the truth. All she has to do is go, oh, poor me, I've got tits. I'm the victim, I've got tits. There's a story I read. It's called An Ambiguous Story. It really doesn't tell you who it is that's the victim or who's the predator. And then at the end, it's got a questionnaire, and it asks you a bunch of questions about this ambiguous story. Well written, by the way, because it is very ambiguous. It allows you to base what happened off of your assumptions. Who do you assign those roles to? Most often, people assign those roles to the wrong gender. Isn't that amazing? Women are 11 times more likely to be stalkers, but men are between 6 and 26 times more likely to be convicted. That shows bias. That shows bias over law. Just like when they use the mentally ill tag to deny a victim the right to turn in their predators. Just like by preventing a victim from turning in their predators in law enforcement, they get to allow that law enforcement to repeatedly harm you over and over and over again. And then force you to go to that law enforcement to try to turn them into themselves and turn in the other crimes being committed against you to a department that has committed multiple felonies against you. And this is all fine and dandy because people like Kaitlynne Tatum don't fucking care. With Michelle Stewart, she sent me a friend request. I accepted it because I thought she was actually going to try helping. Instead, she wants to hang out on my friends list, but not do a goddamn thing. Just like everyone else. You want to tell me what to think and what to feel. You don't want to find out what's going on. You want to pawn me off on somebody else. And it's when I tried to tell these people, hey, you need to go away. You haven't been a friend. You haven't kept your word. You have done no family or friend things. When you say, Sean, oh, I thought you just needed a friend. I do. A friend would help me to turn in my fucking predators, not 6 goddamn years from now. What it all comes down to is that I spoke up and you didn't. I was treated like I was schizophrenic because you didn't speak up about the parts you were involved in. You wanted to suggest anything except doing the right thing. Answering the simple questions, did I go to you for help? The thing with Michelle Stewart, her saying that she will make the time and then not making the time to do what it is that she said that she would do. But she's made times for what she wanted to do, and she didn't even do that the right way. Did she do it to be mean? No, she did it because she didn't understand. She just wanted to make her suggestions. And just like with Mike didn't have time to sit down and actually find everything out last night. He was working. The people he's sending me to are a place that I've already been without a friend or family member going in with me who is informed. They're not going to do anything again. I'm just going to be told to go up there. Oh, it's a free service, but it's not. I mean, I got a shit ton of anxiety about being in this parking lot. Imagine how much anxiety there is for me just driving on the road to go to the parking lot across the street, let alone having to drive into town where nobody did a goddamn thing about my predators. And many of them, such as the local churches, became my predators. You tell me to go to the churches, I went to the churches and I had to go alone. Not one person ever actually helped me to turn in the crimes. Making token efforts of empty promises to help how I need, but literally going out of your way to do everything except what I need. Going out of your way to talk instead of listen. Going out of your way to tell me what happened in a scenario that I was in and you were not. That I have evidence of and you do not. You say if I send you evidence, you'll look at it. No, the fuck you won't. You've already showed you won't. Only my predators look at it because they want to pick out little bits and pieces they can manipulate. And they only get away with it because you don't have the time to tell the truth. You've got plenty of time. You have plenty of time to tell the truth. You have plenty of time to listen. You made time to stick around only because I told you, hey, we're not friends, go away. If I don't take the hint to move somewhere else, with all of my resources all gone, none of you will help me get assisted suicide legal, and none of you will help me to clear my name by telling the truth. Did I reach out to you for help? I'll ask that again for those in the back. Did I reach out to you for help? Did you help as you claim, or no as the cops claim? The reality is, the cops are more right than you are because you never tried to help the victim turn it in person. Or at all. You made the victim go in alone, which is the number one thing you're not supposed to do. And then there's the list of things you're not supposed to say to somebody who's suicidal, because it pushes them to commit suicide. Having my mail sent all over the place too. God, that fucking sucks, because I gotta travel from one place to another while every one of those people are selfish. They're too selfish to listen. They say if I go there, they'll help, and I get there, and they don't. They just talk about themselves. There's a lot of things that people offer to do that it's pretty much common fucking sense at this point, but they still don't fucking get it. People want to tell me I have to do it myself. I'm not allowed to do it myself because of the mentally ill tag. I am entitled and by rights should have someone with me there and present every time that I speak to the police. Someone who is on my side. Let's see, someone calling themselves Fikri Awaludin typed, hello Haas. Someone calling themselves the People's Porsche typed, who is this guy and is he high? I'm Sean Schwartz. No, I'm not high. I'm fucking tired. Exhausted as fuck. I don't get much sleep. And then he types, is this really a live stream of a hobo asleep in a car? It's a live stream of a hobo trying not to go to sleep in a car. I don't want to get in trouble for sleeping.